Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at the markets. Still feeling a little rough, but don't mind me. And also, if there's a lot of noise in the background in a bit, it's because I'm having an electric thing installed in my house, for an electric car. So yeah, it's a bit noisy. Right, let's get stuck in then, shall we? So first, we'll think about Bitcoin. It's now pushing that 200 simple moving average on the daily here. We've seen this. We've been here before. Bang, 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 and then a breakout, and then sort of smashing back down to hit the golden cross of the exponentials and then back up again. So I think there's a very good chance that we make our way up to 66,000. Maybe we get rejected there as a bit of a front run attempt and then back down again. But I'll show you the reasons why I don't think that is going to happen. I think it's more likely that we move up to the top of the trend line towards closer to $68,000. There's nothing really at this stage on this chart, anything to be afraid of outside of the fact that we're pushing this resistance. So right now we're at resistance this very moment in time. That resistance could easily reject us and then see where we go from there. But right now that is resistance, but the momentum seems reasonable. If we take it down to a 4-hourly, it's still pretty good, I have to say, crossing up above the 0 point. A bit of bearish divergence on the money flow index, nothing on the RSI, not on the shorter term time frame anyway. And this was a golden cross retest on the 4-hourly. You've got quite a few of these on altcoins as well. Some altcoins looking really good as well, actually, like really good. Nothing outside of that. So we're just generally looking at momentum creeping back up towards 66, potentially $68,000 for Bitcoin. So that makes it look good across the board for the altcoin scenario. This is Ethereum on the weekly doing its golden cross retest last week on simple moving averages. So you'd be looking for a move, perhaps maybe even to the top of the Bollinger Band here. Sorry, the center of the Bollinger Band, 2,900. Daily, again, approaching major resistance. We're already at the 21. We've got the 20 just above us, and then beyond that is similar to the weekly, which is around 2,800, almost 2,900. Nothing other than that though. So Ethereum a bit of a lagger. I'm not going to go through all these. This is just some of my sort of major portfolio bags really. But the most interesting thing I want to show you is the Nasdaq, right? So this is the US 100, so the futures market to the Nasdaq. So we've got a trend signal in play on the Ichimoku cloud. That is that the price is above the cloud. We've got the conversion baseline cross above the cloud, and the GQ span is above price. And so long as those three things are still in play, this is a trend signal, and the trend signal should keep us going up until we either get the cheeky span closing the price, which today needs to close back down into below 19,574. Over the next few days, you've got a lot further to go down before it cancels out. So we can have a deeper dip midweek and still maintain the uptrend really of this trend signal. So that is pretty good. I do like that, and the Nasdaq, is definitely a more promising chart than the S&P. So that's good. That I like that a lot. And with that should be enough confidence to at least assume continuation. The only thing that's going to stop would be problems in the world. Bitcoin dominance has now reclaimed all moving averages. We got the bounce on the 50 exponential moving average. We probably continue to move back up. So it might be a Bitcoin dominant situation really. 58.5% dominance gave us at least an alt rally for at least for over a week. It was nice while it lasted, and we might see a double top on this one. But until we see it, I wouldn't hold out for it. But that doesn't mean that positions in altcoins are a bad idea. Some altcoins have a really, really awesome setups. Like some of them are really good. Like SHIB, for instance, really good. There's a handful that are looking really good. So I've got confidence in the market, at least the way it looks this morning. Next on the list, we might as well focus on the total 2. So the total 2 on the daily got the death cross retest, and then we broke out, more or less came to the top of the trend line, and now we're pushing resistance again. We got one drive hidden bull. That's nothing really to get too excited about. We've got 2 drives hidden bear on the 4-hourly, and narrowly avoided a death cross. So look, this is not a chart right now which gives me major confidence in either direction. We've got 2 time frames showing opposites, but not very strong signals either way. If you had either of those signals, you wanted to play them, I wouldn't really be confident in going, yeah, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It could go either way. Generally speaking, the overall analysis on the total 2 is the same. It remains exactly the same. It has remained the same since December, really. Which is this. This is the idea that we're going to keep consolidating. We're going to turn around at some point towards this year, at the end of this year, and then we'll sort of break out and make our way up throughout next year. That's the general expectation. It's not a prediction, it's a projection. It's what I expect to see, but if it doesn't happen, it's no big deal. But so far, as we've already seen, the nature of this fractal, although it's not perfect, just gives a rough guide of time frame and more or less similar kind of moves. You know, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, up. And obviously that's a black swan, but continuation up, consolidation, breakout, up, up, up. So it still looks good, and I don't really have any reason to doubt it. Again, it's just geopolitics, if anything, that's going to cause a bit of a problem in this. And the elections as well that are coming up around the corner is probably going to cause a big ripple one way or another. So volatility is still expected, and you're going to get that. So my message to the patrons has been that if we are in an alt season, we've seen. I try to use the metaphor or the analogy of driving a car. So we've had the first gear. The first gear has gone. So you're changing gears now. With a change of gears, you lose a little bit of power, and then you move up a bit with more power. So if we're going to move up again with more power, we should start seeing it now, or at least over this week. And then, you know, we're talking weeks, months. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth, and maybe even a sixth. So we're in between first and second, right? So if it works, great. Second gear shall kick in, and we'll see some nice moves across the board for not just Bitcoin, for altcoins overall. But you could always stall, couldn't you? Sometimes you stall. You know, it does happen. You know, sometimes you just stall the engine. We might do that, and that would be very embarrassing, as it always is. But for the moment, I still believe that there is a good chance that we start to continue back up again after that big drop that we had last week. And some of these altcoins are already back above where they dropped from. SHIB being the best example of that, with one of the greatest charts that I focus on, really, on the altcoins. We haven't even seen a proper breakout yet. We had the consolidation, golden cross, retest, breakout, continuation up. So we're at major resistance now. Next one's going to be here, next one will be here, and then beyond that, obviously take it to a weekly, you can really see how this could really play out quite dramatically if this alt season does go to second, third and fourth gear, because this one's primed for it, really. Weekly above all moving averages, all of them with a positive cross on the histogram. Again, I'm not here to go through every single altcoin in the world, but if there is something that you want me to look at, you can either join the Patreon for that, which hopefully I'm going to be able to do that tomorrow night. I was supposed to do it on Friday, tried to do it Saturday. I just can't. If I'm ill, you know what it's like when you're really ill, massive congested head, really, really tired. There's no point in me sort of sitting here and answering loads of questions for people, especially if your finances are, you know, hanging in the balance. I wouldn't want to give substandard information to you because I'm feeling groggy. So it's probably better that I am alert and have a good attention to detail. Otherwise, I could be doing and saying anything. I'd be missing all kinds of things, really. So hopefully tomorrow the stream will continue as normal. So if you want to join that, there's links in the description below to join the Patreon for that. I am probably going to start adding more content to the Patreon anyway, you know, maybe just individual altcoin analysis that won't be available on YouTube, because, look, let's face it, my YouTube channel is very small. No one really cares about it. It's a diluted market, you know, unless I have pretty lights in the background and talking about ridiculous price targets which appeal to people, then no one's really going to be bothered. But I prefer reality. You know, there is only one reality that I'm aware of, and that's the one I live in, and so that's the one that I use to make money from. There's no point in living in an alternative reality where you expect something to happen which will never come to fruition. So if you want a dose of reality, join the Patreon. If you don't, and you prefer hopium and you know, false promises, then go elsewhere. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.